Until you have begun to practice this exercise, much of what you see and hear on the following program may be shocking and upsetting to you. But if you will listen calmly and with an open mind, you may discover the key to the peace of mind and joy for which you've been searching all of your life. And now, from the foundation of human understanding, here is Roy Masters.
Yes, let's take our calls right away. All right, Paul in Sacramento, hello.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Roy.
Hi, hello. What can I do for you, Paul?
I have I guess the screener put it better. I have a problem with my nerves.
It's your knives. It's your knives. Come on now. Huh? Didn't you listen to what I was saying throughout the first hour?
Well, sort of. I mean, I got on.
How much have you heard this evening?
Probably about a half an hour's worth.
Okay. Did you hear me talk about resentment?
Yeah.
What did I say about it?
Well, I mean, I've been listening to you for a while. I actually called a while back about Christian.
That's fair enough. But listen, I said but when you weren't listening, I said I was able to finally explain the secret of life to one of my sons. He's 47 years old. He was pretty good at what I was teaching him, but finally, the principle of it struck home, and I've said it 3 or 4 times this evening, and every night I say it, and people miss it, so that when I finish talking to you about it, somebody will call and while they were listening they didn't hear it, because it somehow doesn't apply to them. It applies to everyone. That resentment, you know what resentment is?
Just looking back, maybe.
No, resentment is a little irritation that doesn't show. It's like a little irritation when something displeases you, something annoys you, aggravates you. It doesn't show much. It's just like a little electric shock, isn't it? Little zzz.
Is it passive aggressive?
No, it makes you that, but it is the poison. It is the means by which human beings, the soul of a human being, is transported to that which intimidates you to be resentful. But another word for resentment is unforgiveness.
Yeah.
So
I was just wondering how you could relate that to a physical problem like shaking.
Well, aren't you an electrical person?
Well, actually, I called you rock, but now I play the piano now, and it seems like when I play in front of people, particularly, I shake just uncontrolled.
Yeah, but you fear. You have fear of disapproval. You have a need for approval and a fear of disapproval, and so that you play for approval, and you have conflict. You cannot. Listen to me. Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. All he gets is white bread and butter. I don't know why they're stuck in my mind, but you are little Tommy Tucker. You're not a human being. You just play piano for a living. You're an enabler. And so your whole sense of worth depends on what people think of you. It's a horrible state of mind to be in. It really is. You need to get a real job, like digging ditches.
Well, the thing, I'm not playing for money, but yeah, I see what you're saying, for approval. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Well, but you sound very feminine to me. You sound like you're not manly. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you stepping forward? And what you're giving me. You're not just giving me a herring. You're giving me a red herring. You got more of a problem than just being nervous and playing piano in front of people. It's more than that. You have a fear of people. You're basically a coward, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a coward. You're a people-pleasing coward. You live your life. I'm sorry. I would. Yeah, you are. I would say it. And you want to know? You don't have confidence. You don't have. You hear me? I have confidence. You know what confidence is? It's the word. It's just a word, but it has a meaning. It comes from the Latin con with fideo, God. It's a relationship you have with God, so when it's tested, it's not wanting. And so, you start off your life learning how to be confident. And if you're resentful, then you lose that relationship with God, and it becomes reestablished to people, places, and things. The things that irritate you, the things that upset you, the things that make you react and get upset. Simple term. When you get upset, everything gets upset. Your whole life is turned around, so you're no longer a self-possessed person, but you're possessed by people. Now, if I were you, I'd go to my website and download that CD and use it. But the trouble is it won't work until you are willing to face what must be faced. You are not a man yet. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh dear. Well, you still have a long way to go. You have trouble with girls yet?
Oh, well, of course.
You had sex yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's... You see, the trouble is, how can I say this? When you have sex, well, sex has you. In other words, you're owned by women. You are owned. The minute you step across that threshold, now there's redemption from that, but the minute you step across that threshold, because look, if I was a woman, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. But you see, there's an old saying, and I don't mean to be insulting, you've got to take this as a good, I know this prickles a little bit. There's an old saying in Polish, and I can't say it in Polish, but my friend told me what it was in English. He said, every monster has a lover. If you look down the malls of any American city, you see ugly people, in love with ugly people. See? Mm-hmm. So there's always somebody who'll love you the way you are. See?
Yeah, well,
now you get so now, but you're not getting love here. You're getting screwed. In other words, what is rising to your need is a woman who will outuse your use. And she just enables you to feel like a better person. But you know what? You're less than you were before. And so she. You didn't make a good mark on her life, and you just you become another failing man using women. And becoming more feminine and more weak in the process. Listen to me. You ask me what's wrong with you, I'm giving you the whole of it. I haven't spoken to you about your father or mother, but you haven't asked me much of a question. You only asked me about, piano playing a little bit fearful and nervous when you play in front of people. That's a very weak question. I thought I'd give you a better answer. Call me back again another day, would you? Thank you very much. Okay. Sorry. That's what's really, so many men like this. You have a whole nation full of weaklings. Or bullies. Where's the men? They're trying to fight a war. And they're doing what you should be doing, gentlemen. And, but you liberal cowards, basically, you are. Liberal-minded men, they're good. Look, I like Alan Combs. He's a liberal. He's a good, decent man. But I'm talking about left. Hate those who stand for what's right. In other words, you don't like me. You wouldn't like Ronald Reagan. You hate everything that stands as for a man, because that's your mother's nature in you. You have a contempt for your own manhood. You have a contempt for your own father. He set himself up to fail, but she helped. And so that you feel what a woman feels, contempt for real men. So when a man wants to stand up for his country, you think of him as a bully. Oh, he's a bully. He's just love war. You miserable excuse for a human being. All right. You got a problem with me? Call me. Tell me what I said. You know what I will say to you the first thing you call me? I didn't know you were listening. You actually knew that I was talking about you. See? So that's what keeps you from picking up the phone. See, I'm ahead of you. All right.